The rain had already soaked Daniel Carter's jacket by the time he stood outside the factory doors. It clung to him the same way worry had clung to his chest for months, heavy, cold, and impossible to shake off. Inside, machines hummed like they always did, steady and indifferent, but Daniel's heart was racing. Tonight wasn't just another shift. Tonight, he was about to beg. Daniel was 43, a father of 2, with hands roughened by years of honest labor. He wasn't lazy. He wasn't careless. Life had simply dealt him too many blows at once. His wife's medical bills had drained their savings. Rent had increased. His son needed money for school supplies, and his daughter's asthma medication alone cost more than Daniel earned in a week. He had already sold his old watch, his wedding ring, even the television. There was nothing left to give, except his pride. When his boss, Mr. Harlan, finally stepped out of his glass office, Daniel's stomach tightened. Harlan was known for being strict, efficient, and distant. A man who measured people by numbers, not stories. "Sir," Daniel said, his voice barely steady. "Can I talk to you for a minute?" Harlan sighed, already tired. "Make it quick." Daniel followed him inside. The office was warm, clean, and quiet, a different world from the factory floor. Daniel stood awkwardly, water dripping from his sleeves onto the carpet. "I was wondering," Daniel began, staring at the floor, "if there might be any extra hours available. Night shifts. Weekends. Anything." Harlan didn't respond right away. He opened a drawer and, without Daniel noticing, pressed a button on his phone. The recording started. "Why?" Harlan asked flatly. Daniel swallowed. Because my kids need me. My wife's been sick. I'm not asking for a raise. Just more work." Silence filled the room. "I'll do anything," Daniel continued, his voice cracking despite his efforts to stay strong. "I'll clean. I'll stay late. I won't complain. I just need more hours." His shoulders trembled. He tried to stop it, but the tears came anyway. Not loud sobs, just quiet, broken breaths. A grown man crying, humiliated, desperate. "My son thinks I'm a hero," Daniel whispered. "I can't let him down." Harlan watched him, expression unreadable, phone still recording. "I understand if you say no," Daniel added quickly. I had to try." Harlan cleared his throat. "We'll see," he said. "You can go." Daniel nodded, embarrassed, and left the office feeling smaller than when he had entered. He didn't know he had been recorded. He didn't know that his lowest moment had been captured forever. That night, Daniel walked home in the rain, replaying the conversation over and over. He imagined his kids' faces if he failed. He imagined eviction notices and dark kitchens. Still, the next morning, he woke up before sunrise, packed his lunch, and went to work. Because that's what fathers do, they show up, even when hope feels thin. Days passed. No extra hours. No word from Harlan. Daniel grew quieter, thinner, but he never missed a shift. He worked harder than ever, his body aching, his mind heavy. Then something unexpected happened. Harlan watched the recording again late one night. He had originally planned to keep it as proof that workers were emotional, unreliable, weak. But as he listened, something shifted. The trembling voice. The honesty. The way Daniel never once blamed anyone else. Harlan remembered his own father, proud, silent, gone too soon. A man who had also begged once, though no one had listened. The next morning, Harlan did something he had never done before. He called a meeting. The factory floor filled with confused workers as Harlan stood before them, holding his phone. "I recorded a conversation," he said. "I shouldn't have." Murmurs spread. This man, Harlan continued, gesturing toward Daniel, showed more courage in 5 minutes than most people do in a lifetime. Daniel froze. Harlan played the recording. The room went silent. Some workers looked away. Others wiped their eyes. When the audio ended, no one spoke. "I've spent years thinking strength means control," Harlan said quietly. "I was wrong." That day, Daniel was given extra hours. But that wasn't all. Harlan introduced a new policy: overtime rotation, emergency assistance, medical support. For the first time, the company saw its workers as people. Daniel went home that evening with groceries, medicine, and a weight lifted from his chest. When his son asked if everything was okay, Daniel smiled and said, "Yeah. It will be." Months later, Daniel still worked hard, but now with dignity intact. Harlan still ran the factory, but with humility. One moment of vulnerability had changed everything.